Yeah. So, all right. Let me ask you another question. By the way, we're talking to Laurie Watson, our sex therapist. And if you have a question, go ahead and call us 1-855-SHOWGRAM. It's free. She gives great advice. So you just give us, the Reader's Digest version of your situation or your question, and Laurie will answer it for you. It's pretty good. 1-855-SHOWGRAM. All right. So let's say that I know what you're going to say before I even ask this question. But some people are morning sex people.
Oh, yeah.
Other people are nooners.
Especially when you get older. Morning is good.
Yeah, and then there's nooners.
Uh-huh.
And then there's night people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the crazy thing is people tell me, I'm a morning person and he's a night person.
Right.
So we can't have sex. I'm like, you know what? Somebody told me that. A couple told me that. And they worked at home together.
Yeah.
Like, how about in the middle of the day?
Yeah.
Let's compromise. And they were shocked that, we didn't think about that.
Right.
But see, that's because it's a power struggle. It's really not about doing it at night and doing it in the morning. Maybe you have your favorites, but doing it together, figuring it out, come on.
Yeah.
Just because you prefer
it. That
at
sounds
night.
good. But, the reality is, in the morning, maybe your wife is like all ready to go, but before you even wake up, you're really thinking about your day and your business and what you got to do, what you got to go to do. Well, she's working too, but she's thinking about that. I'm more, at the end of the day, now you get in there, you get in bed and you're sitting there. I'm more of a night guy. And we don't have time for nooners,
Right.
with
You're
that
probably
situation.
not together.
Yeah. So that's I won't say that's a tough thing, but it is sometimes a difficult thing because I got to be at work at freaking 4:00 in the morning.
You know what though? Every client of mine who's told me that, I say, you manage to make your scheduled work once a week here and you pay my fee. So I know timing and money is not the issue.
Yeah.
It is not.
So why you say it's a power struggle?
Right. Because couples fall into a power struggle for at least 10 or 15 years in their relationship. Where it's all about how much autonomy can I have and how much closeness do you demand of me?
Yeah.
And there's this balance. And one person always takes one end of the story and the other takes the other end, right?
Plus, I know my breath's got a damn dragon breath.
Just for the record, it's usually the man who wants sex in the morning. And there's a reason for it because his testosterone is higher in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe
that's why there's morning.
Maybe my
bean
vagina
pulse.
is working better at the night.
You should get lit up around 3:30.
Yeah, about 3:30. Yeah. Sabrina, hello. Hi, darling. What's your question for Laurie?
I've heard debate on this, and I'm just curious. Is it a good thing or a bad thing to schedule times that you have sex? Because on the one hand, if you schedule sex during the week, you can be excited. Oh, Friday night, sex night.
Okay,
I
think you should schedule the time in your own head because then you are excited about it. And don't tell your partner because then it does seem spontaneous to them. I think scheduling together puts pressure on a couple, but a woman, because she usually needs a little bit more to get herself there, she should schedule in her head. Absolutely, Thursday night, come, something or high water, I am going to initiate. I'm going to jump him.
Is it bad if you ask your partner stress sex is great.
Stress relief.
Yeah, you're so stressed from all the crap that you had to deal with that day. There is no medication that can make you feel that good that quick.
Right, absolutely.
So, and guys, I hate to say this.
Stress relief sex, I mean, sleep, using it as a sleeping pill or using it as stress relief, that is absolutely fine. I don't think you should expect the hottest, most erotic sex when you're using it that way, but I think it's fine.
Quicky's fine.
A quickie can be fine.
Yeah.
And it's great if both of you can use it that way. I think if it overwhelms a low desire partner, maybe there might be other ways to relieve stress.
Right.
And use sex only for happy feelings.
All right. Hey, Kevin, what's your question for Laurie, our sex therapist?
Yeah, I had a question. It's now me and my wife, we have sex 3 to 4 times a day, on average of 5 to 6 times a week. Is too much sex bad for the body, or is it good?
I think that might be rough on a woman.
Yeah.
It might wear out her tissue, honestly. I mean, that's the only thing I can think about.
Yeah, come on, brother. Wear that thing out.
If somebody does wear out your tissue, how does that affect everything down there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't change anything down there. I think it could just be raw. That's a lot of sex. And if
So
she's
you all
young
kind of
and she's maybe you both use lubricants.
Uh-huh.
That might be okay,
Yeah.
if she's up for that. But I think that a lot of women probably would not be able to tolerate that physically.
Right.
I'm telling you, if you're doing it 4 times a day, you need some.
I mean, maybe at first.
You need Crisco.
but-
Right, or you need some damn WD-40 or something. I'm not sure, but Amy, hello.
They must be really
Laurie,
young.
You were talking before about like how the girl in a relationship is more erotic sometimes than the guy,
Yes.
and the girl needs to be like more expressive about it.
Yes.
I have tried that, and it did not work. He basically just shut down.
Well, what were you talking about? I mean, you have to be PG-13 with it, but what were you being more erotic about?
Well, just like, more, things brought into it, or just more exciting.
Okay,
Right, you want to do different stuff. You want
to be
different
dirty. You want to be dirty, right?
Well, PG-13 dirty.
Yeah, PG-13 dirty, right? Yeah, but I mean, if
So what should you do about that? Is this your husband?
No, it's my boyfriend.
Okay, think twice about that. First of all, I think secondly, maybe get yourself to a sex therapist. That's really something that he has to work out. If a guy is, who's flooded with testosterone and you sound very young and he's, repressed, there's something going on there.
So you know what though? Maybe I don't know, but okay, let me just ask this, and I'm not a therapist, but I did stay at the Holiday Inn there, All right, so the question is this: did he grow up in an environment where sex was never talked about?
Yeah.
And his mom and dad never talked about it, so then his siblings never talked about it, and then he goes to high school and he feels really uncomfortable because nobody in his family ever talked about sex, and it's weird, and now he's got you, and maybe the sex that he had before was every time it was missionary, and now he feels maybe, I'm thinking, uncomfortable because in his mind he's thinking this isn't right. Uh-huh. So how do you make a guy who grew up that way to kind of let go?
Well, I think you're making a good point. Our family of origin is a huge influence on how we feel about our sexual self. It's enormous. I usually think most people can override their family, not maybe tell them the birds and the bees story. But it is harder to override a cold environment or trauma. And trauma is both capital T, a capital T like molestation. That's a big T trauma. But there are small traumas like being neglected, not having anybody attend to you, not having enough attention. As attention.
And then when you grow up, because nobody paid attention to you, you don't want to have crazy sex?
You know what? It reduces our capacity for intimacy. And sex is the middle of that fire.
So how does
these people want to stay out of that fire because they're afraid.
How does she get her guy to be more randy?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would ask him and talk to him about why is he shut down? What is the issue? Is he afraid he's not competent in bed?
Yeah.
Are you so sexy that he's like, oh, maybe he's
I could never meet your
I could
needs.
never meet your experience.
And speaking of not being competent or whatever, like what if a guy has that issue for a long period of time? Like, how do you make them get over that to make them aware that you do like
leave him
their abilities in bed? No, not leave.
That was
but I'm
my
saying,
line.
like, what if somebody was nervous for a long time, or a woman is really nervous for like a long extended period of time? Like, how can they get past that?
I really think you need help. I mean, if it goes on for months, you need some help to get that worked out.
Chrissy, hello.
Hey.
Hey, baby, what's your question for Laurie Watson, our sex therapist?
I have a question. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 7 years, and we have sex often, and sex is great. But he always wants to do the same position. How do I get him to want to experiment and do more different things?
Okay, take him into another room. So it's not in the same place, the same way. Take him into the living room, on the couch, in the car.
Tie him up. No, you're laughing, but I'm saying some people, I think, don't even know that they would enjoy that because it's never happened. Mm-hmm. So, when he comes in from work today, just say, I got something for you. Put your stuff down, and then you put the gag ball or whatever you're going to use, or or you blindfold him, right? And just grab his hand, and he'll say, "What are you doing?" Be like, "You know what? Just lay down and shut up." Right?
How is it?
And then you tie him up, and if he says, untie me, you untie me. But
you're also talking about as a normal pattern. You can't necessarily do that every day of the week.
Not every day.
4 times of the week.
But
you can't
once.
do that, right?
I mean, do it once, and if he may come back and go,
Have
"Hey."
you been reading 50 Shades of Grey, Bob?
No, but I have a
went
great
bought it.
imaginary mind that comes up and says, "I think when I get home today,
This is Bob's segment of Bob's fantasy segment.
Lou's going to have some Taco Bell there for me. I'm going to eat the Taco Bell, and then she's going to come and grab me and throw me down and teach me who's boss."
Oh my goodness.
And then I get there, she's not there, and I just take a nap.
Look right in the copy for you to read.
No, but I mean, that just sounds... Yeah, how many times have I said this since you've been here? There's only 2 parts of a relationship. Only 2. And no more than 2. And it's
Tell us.
basic.
Tell
No,
us.
listen, but Bob, sexual master, tell me. But it's this. It's relationship and sexual. And there's the only 2 types of the relationship that you have, physical and emotional. That's it.
Right.
And so if you're missing one of those and you choose not to try to make one of those situations which you're missing better, then you're just as guilty in the relationship as he is. So if you come in and you say no, 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 it's okay to say no every once in a while to sex. But and I don't want to say the word obligation, but there is once you're married, or a lot of people think before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fidelity is a commitment to a sexual relationship.
It is.
And I think you're right. I think there are 2 parts. Women often take the talk side of it, right? I want to talk to you to feel close to you. And men say, I'll feel close to you and want to talk to you as soon as I have sex with you.
Right.
And I think sometimes we can't demand that it's our way. Sometimes
Let me see
we
your
have to
schnauzer.
say, you know what? Let's just go to bed.
Right.
And then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Because I think some people say, but I can't get excited unless I talk. It's like, oh, come on.
Right.
Every once in a while,
Talk
you
to your sister before I get home. That'll take care of it. When we get back, more questions. I mean, our lines are full here. We're going to do a break, come back. More Laurie Watson, our sex therapist. You can get in touch with her. Laurie Watson. That's Laurie Watson.sextherapist on Facebook. Back after this. It's a Showgram, y'all.